they just taught themselves. They went they I don't know how they did it, but they taught themselves and one of my friends who did that, it was a coworker on Ice Age, so over at Blue Sky. Another one was a coworker on Avatar, so he's at Weta, and um and it's really impressive to think that they made it that far and never even went to school. So it's not. I mean, it really just depends on how you learn. I've never been. I can't really say like you people are best to go to this school or that, but I can say that if you have the tools that you need, that to me is the most important thing. So whether you're going to like a community college, oh I see, so you went to digital media arts college in Florida, okay. Um, yeah, I'd have to look that up and see more details on that. But I'd say that to me, what I need most, and maybe you can see if you relate to this, what I need most is the resources. And resources could be equipment, it could be the Maya program, it could be computers. Resources could also be um, mentors. And I don't always need a teacher to come in and give me an assignment. Now, a t- having some sort of direction is great. So having a professor come in and say, "This is the assignment, now do it." That's great to have that direction. But what I need more than anything is when I have a specific question at a specific time that I can get the answer right then and there and not have to wait for an hour and have to talk with somebody later or have to, and lose track of what I was even thinking of and I need my answer right then and there. And again, I think that's what Vancouver Film School did for me is they provided mentors for us that could do that. And some people need more, I would imagine, more attention than that. Like I think it kind of depends on how you learn. Oh wow, so you taught yourself through YouTube making Minecraft animations. If you if you have videos, send them my way. Maybe send them in a message, a Twitch message. But and going further on that idea of school and where artists can go, where animators can go, um, I think I equate animation to a talent-based industry. And this is my philosophy on those industries. So I feel like there's a few, if you categorize any job out there, it could fit under these categories of industry. You've got an athletic industry, you've got an educational industry, and that includes let me phrase that. You have an athletic based industry, education based industry, and talent based industry. And the difference is like athletics is you have the natural physical ability, and then education is what I would imagine most people fall under is just simply you educate yourself and you know a lot about a topic, and therefore you can go into an industry like I don't know. Sometimes if you learn business principles or um, I don't know. I can't really think of an example, but and then you have talent-based industry, whereas and that can oftentimes be like athletics, but a talent-based industry is it's almost like even if you don't have the education, somehow you have the knack for it. You have the ability to do a talent, and it's it's something that can go for you or against you. I've been in situations where I worked really, really hard for something and I wasn't good at it. Whereas others I've met have not worked hard at that same thing or not nearly as hard, and they're way better than I am at it. And to me, that's just a testimony of a talent-based craft. So in this case, I believe animation is a talent-based industry, and that's why I think people can become professionals, like really good professionals, without even going to school. And again, it's not something I'd recommend, but it's something that can happen. It's something like when you go apply for college or go apply for for a job. I've never once had a job ask me, about my schooling. I've had, it's good to have my my college on my resume or something, but I've never had them like, tell me about your school or something. It's always been about show me your demo reel, show me what you can do, and that's all I really need to see. That's all I really need to know or care about because, what you can do will speak for itself. Um, it's not to say schools, some schools, might get more attention than others on a resume, but really it goes back to just being a talent-based industry. Hey, maybe MD Chop, if that's the correct way to pronounce it. Um, Great question. So why did I get into live stream animation? Actually, I'm glad you asked that question. There's actually this is where it kind of gets into some personal things. Like if I can share that with you guys, um, I'm really fascinated with Twitch and how the whole idea of uh, like people are watching games, watching people play games, and you kind of wonder, well, what's the appeal in that? Why are people watching? You know, growing up, it's like I like to play games, or even now, I like to play games. I don't necessarily like to sit and watch somebody else play a game. Well, so what's the appeal and things like that? And I've been following Twitch for a little while and following some streamers and trying to get into it really. And to me, what it really comes down to is it's not necessarily about streaming. It's not really about um, I'm streaming something that's super interesting, so everybody wants to watch me, and maybe that's partially the case. But I think really it's about just hanging out. And this is almost like friends. And I know that sometimes streamers can get thousands or tens of thousands of people, but really it's just like we're all hanging out. We're able to talk and I can answer questions and things like that. But it's just about hanging out. And so what drew me to be a streamer is, I mean, it might sound cheesy, but I just wanted to hang out with people. I wanted to sit here and be able to reach out to a community that and see if they wanted to talk about animation, see if they wanted to, I guess, watch me do animation. Um, I know a lot of people might have questions about jobs or maybe some of the films I've worked on or how can they get somewhere in the industry and things like that. I mean, we're all trying to live the life best we can and I don't know if I can answer all those things, but nonetheless, it's kind of like just friends hanging out. So what appealed to me about streaming was I just wanted to hang out with people. So I mean, that's a long-winded answer, but that's why I stream for hours. Yeah, I love watching artists work as well, and kind of getting an idea of how they do things, and really, it's like you can go online and get pay for a DVD tutorial or something on how to do something. Or you can go on YouTube and sort of watch a tutorial of how somebody might do something. Um, and then Twitch is providing a platform where you can actually it's like taking it to the next level. You watch somebody live. Um, Oops, I have the wrong control here. And yeah, and you watch somebody live, and yeah, and I think I can certainly see the appeal for that. But as I've been using Twitch more and more, sometimes I find myself gravitating toward people who aren't necessarily providing material worth to what you're watching, in terms of learning something. And sometimes I do like to just sit and see somebody or listen to somebody play a game, and again, it's the hangout mentality. It's like I like seeing certain reactions to how people play games, and like seeing their facial reactions and things like that, right? So in this case, it's like um, so yeah, I like learning educational things, but I'm starting to get the idea of why people want to watch others play games. It's a hangout thing, right? And unless you don't want to hang out, or if the person's not interesting enough that you don't want to hang out. So the question about Motion Builder, what is this program? Oh, what can I say? Be honest, Motion Builder, it's hard to say because I don't know if any of my animator coworkers are watching, because Maya is certainly the most common used program, but Motion Builder is possibly my favorite animation program. And I gotta say that carefully because I Motion Builder, as far as I know, is not that great with something like facial, or at least I haven't been able to crack it very well. But with body motion, there's just so much stuff you could do with it. There's so much using the layers, and I think the graph editor is very intuitive. So Motion Builder was originally meant, as far as I know, it's not like I didn't work for the company or anything, but Motion Builder was originally meant to be used just for motion capture. And I think that's how it's adopted, and that's how people know it's used for. In fact, I think that's how they advertise it on the website. But what um, I think is very good for keyframe animation as well, not just for motion capture. And it's a program that you can't necessarily model in it. So